Martell Holt really thinks he can't be touched. That's what people are saying online after watching him spiral deeper into legal trouble, social media antics, and outright defiance. It's like he's trying to rewrite reality in real time, hoping that if he distracts everyone with his performance, they'll forget the truth. But the act is cracking. And behind it, there's a man who isn't just losing a custody battle, he's losing control of the entire story he once worked so hard to shape. Let's start with the court orders, because this is where everything goes from messy to disturbing. 2 years ago, a judge didn't make a suggestion. He gave a direct order. Martell was told to complete a psychological evaluation and attend counseling. That's not just a slap on the wrist. That's the legal system throwing up red flags, saying, something isn't right here, and it needs to be addressed. But Martell ignored it. 2 full years have passed, and he hasn't complied. No counseling. No evaluation. No accountability. Nothing but excuses and social media posts. Now think about this. Imagine if Melody had done the same thing. Imagine if she ignored a judge's orders for 2 years. Social media would have dragged her endlessly. The court might have sanctioned her or even taken away custody. But Martell? He's still out here posting selfies, showing off at events, and acting like none of it matters. He's pretending the legal system doesn't apply to him, and honestly, people are fed up. What makes it worse is that instead of following the court's orders, Martell had the audacity to appeal a ruling that already went against him. He's acting like he's been wronged, like the whole world is out to get him, even though he admitted on camera to crossing the line in his marriage and his parenting. The receipts exist. The judge already made a decision. So what exactly is he appealing? This isn't about justice. This is about delay. About dragging things out long enough to wear down everyone around him. And sadly, it's working. Not in terms of winning, but in terms of exhausting people, especially Melody. Melody has been showing up. She's done the work, followed the rules, and tried to move forward. But Martell keeps pulling her back into his chaos. It's like he can't stand the idea of her living in peace. Every ignored order, every appeal, every unnecessary court date, it's all part of a cycle that keeps them bound together. And the system, whether by choice or neglect, seems to be letting it happen. But here's where the story goes deeper than legal battles or online shade. The children are the real victims here. And let's be clear, these aren't toddlers anymore. These are 4 growing kids, smart, aware, and emotionally sensitive. They know when their mom is stressed. They know when their dad is being messy. And they absolutely know when life isn't fair. They don't need to overhear whispers or rumors. Social media makes everything visible. They can scroll. They can read. They can feel the weight of every adult decision being made around them. Fans are calling this psychological warfare, and they're not wrong. Because let's be honest, Martell isn't fighting for custody out of love. He isn't doing this to protect his children. He's doing it because custody is his last piece of leverage. It's his way of staying in Melody's life, of keeping her tied to him even though she's tried to break free. This isn't about being a father. It's about control. And the saddest part? He doesn't even try to hide it. He moves like someone who believes consequences are for other people. He acts like the rules don't apply to him. And speaking of rules, let's talk about the double standard. Martell proudly posts pictures of his son with Arion Curry, the same woman he cheated on Melody with, smiling as if nothing ever happened. But when it comes to the children he shares with Melody, suddenly there are a million rules about how they should and shouldn't be seen online. Fans see it for what it is: control. If Martell can't control the narrative, he doesn't want it out there. And people are calling him out for it. Now, let's not get it twisted, Melody isn't playing the victim. She's living as a survivor. While Martell throws tantrums in court and paints himself as the one being attacked, Melody has been keeping her head down and doing the work. She isn't chasing sympathy. She's protecting her children. She's fighting for her peace. Anyone paying attention can see that she's exhausted, but she isn't broken. And that quiet strength is exactly why so many people are rallying behind her. But again, this isn't just about two people whose marriage fell apart. This feels strategic on Martell's end, calculated and cold. He seems to understand that as long as he can keep Melody stuck in court, she'll never truly be free of him. She'll never have the space to fully thrive without his shadow looming. And that's why the battles never end. He doesn't want resolution. He wants exhaustion. Every time Melody takes a step forward, Martell throws another obstacle in her path, another filing, another accusation, another dig online disguised as concern for the kids. Fans have noticed the pattern. This isn't parenting. This is punishment. Punishment for leaving him. Punishment for standing strong. Punishment for healing out loud while he's still trapped in denial. Then there's Arion Curry. Her name refuses to disappear because she's still part of the chaos. She wasn't just a side relationship. The moment she had a child with Martell, she became a permanent fixture in his life. And he hasn't exactly kept her quiet. Instead, he parades her presence loudly, defiantly, like he's daring anyone to challenge him. And the problem is, when someone like Martell refuses to set boundaries, everyone suffers, especially the children. Arion has thrown shade at Melody publicly more than once. And Martell, instead of shutting it down, allows it to swirl around his family. That isn't protection. That's pettiness. And let's be real, if the roles were reversed, if Melody had a boyfriend who constantly bashed Martell online, the fallout would be brutal and immediate. But Martell? He lets Arion run wild and calls it co-parenting. Fans see straight through it. And they're not just frustrated, they're heartbroken. Because while Martell plays social media games, those kids are growing up. They're not clueless. They see the contradictions. They feel the tension. And they know when one parent is holding the family together while the other is tearing it apart. That's what makes this whole situation so tragic. It didn't have to be like this. Martell had options. He could have stepped up. He could have gone to counseling, admitted his mistakes, and built a healthier co-parenting relationship with Melody. He could have shown his kids what growth looks like. Instead, he doubled down on ego and control. And now he's trapped not by an unfair system, but by his refusal to change. Meanwhile, Melody is showing what real adulthood looks like. She's not perfect, but she's present. She's showing her kids resilience. She's showing them that strength doesn't mean being loud, it means standing firm, even when life keeps throwing obstacles your way. And fans have noticed. Her quiet resilience speaks louder than any caption Martell could ever write. People see the truth buried under the drama. Melody is fighting not just against Martell, but against a system that allows men like him to drag cases out with no real consequences. But patience is running out. There's only so long someone can dodge accountability before the walls close in. And for Martell, those walls are closing faster than ever. Fans aren't whispering their frustrations anymore, they're shouting them. 2 years of ignoring a court order isn't a mistake. It's a choice. And people are demanding real consequences. Warnings haven't worked. Court dates haven't worked. Maybe it's time for something stronger. Because this isn't just about Martell skipping therapy or avoiding a psychological evaluation. It's about what that refusal represents: a man who refuses to grow. A man more concerned with appearances than progress. He talks like he's a misunderstood father fighting for his kids, but real fathers don't weaponize their children. Real fathers don't ignore the court. Real fathers show up, do the work, and let their actions speak. Martell is still performing, and the mask is slipping. And let's not forget the double standard. If Melody had ignored the judge for 2 years, she wouldn't just be getting side eyes. She'd probably be facing contempt charges or worse. Fans know it. The favoritism is clear, and that's why so many are calling for the case to be moved out of Madison County. They believe Martell is being protected by a system that's supposed to be neutral. And that belief is slowly breaking people's trust in the entire process. Meanwhile, the kids are left to pick up the pieces of chaos they never asked for. They didn't choose this fight. They didn't ask to be dragged into social media drama or courtroom battles. All they wanted was peace. Stability. A childhood free from emotional tug-of-war. But bit by bit, that's being taken from them. Every ignored order, every appeal, every shady post, it chips away at the foundation they deserve. And one day, those kids will look back and remember who fought for their well-being, and who kept fueling the fire. The most heartbreaking part? This all could have been avoided. Martell had a choice: to heal, to grow, to build something better. Instead, he chose control. And now, as the narrative slips from his hands, he's scrambling to reframe it. But it's too late. The mask has cracked. Even his most loyal defenders are going quiet. It's hard to keep supporting a man who can't follow basic court orders, who uplifts the woman he cheated with while tearing down the one who raised his children, who plays by his own rules until those rules turn against him. The silence from his corner says it all. Meanwhile, Melody hasn't had to shout. Her consistency speaks louder than anything else. She's protected her kids. She's respected the court. She's avoided unnecessary online battles. And that's why people believe her. That's why her support continues to grow. This story isn't about Martell's downfall. It's about the consequences of refusing to evolve. It's about what happens when pride matters more than accountability. When bitterness matters more than healing. When control matters more than peace. Martell Holt isn't just fighting Melody. He's fighting himself. And the longer he resists growth, the harder his fall will be. At the end of the day, this battle isn't just about Martell Holt and Melody Shari. It's about what happens when someone refuses to take responsibility and instead uses the people around them as pawns. Martell has spent years trying to control the story, ignoring court orders, and painting himself as the victim. But the truth always finds its way out. And now, more people than ever are seeing through the act. The saddest part is that 4 innocent children are caught in the middle of this war. They didn't ask for the drama, the courtrooms, or the social media fights. All they wanted was peace. All they needed was 2 parents willing to put their egos aside and work together. Melody has been trying to do exactly that, while Martell keeps choosing pride. But pride never wins in the end. What wins is truth. What lasts is love. And no matter how long Martell keeps delaying, dragging, and performing, the walls are closing in. Sooner or later, accountability comes knocking. And when it does, the world will remember who fought for healing and who fought to hold on to control.